I am joined now down the line by LGBT activist Peter Tatchell. Peter, at what age is it acceptable for a child to come out as trans?
Well, first let me say that Mermaids is a recognised charity. The overwhelming majority of parents and trans children are happy, content and gratified by the work of Mermaids. They are happy in their trans identity, their parents are happy, they go on to lead happy, fulfilled lives. Now, to answer your question, we always have to think of the interest and welfare of the child. That must come first. And we must also listen to children. So if a child manifests a trans identity, we should not dismiss it or deny it, nor should any parent. That child should be listened to. They should have extensive discussions, which is what does happen in 99% of cases. And then only if the child is absolutely certain about a trans identity, then there should be any procedure forward in terms of chest binders, hormones, etc.
I'm sort of speechless. I don't understand. You know, if a child walked into a and came up to me and said, "I'm trans armless. I believe I belong. I shouldn't have two arms," we wouldn't chop the arm off the child, even after lots of consultation. Why are we considering trying to change, which is impossible to do anyway, the biological sex or this imagined ridiculousness of the concept of the word gender? If we wouldn't chop off a child's hand, for example, if they said, "I feel unihandism," why wouldn't you go, "Well, we'll chop off your hand then"? We wouldn't do it in any other situation. Why are we doing it irrevocably to their sexual organs that will stop them developing properly and in many cases will stop them having an orgasm later in life and have any sexual gratification whatsoever? How on earth could anyone promote this in young people, ever?
But of course, chopping off an arm or a hand is irreversible, whereas chest binding and hormone therapy is not irreversible.
Lupron is used to chemically castrate sexual criminals in America. Lupron is used as a chemical castration tool. Is that correct or incorrect?
Sorry?
Lupron, the drug that they use to block puberty, is also used to chemically castrate sex offenders in America. Is that a true or untrue statement, Peter?
I do not know, but I do know that
well, it's true. I can tell you it's true.
Hormone therapies are used to the satisfaction of the vast majority of trans young people and their parents. Normally, this happens with full parental knowledge and consent. So there's no question that something is being done in 99% of cases without the parents' guidance and support. And Mermaids makes great efforts to involve parents in the procedures. They involve them in discussions and ensure that the parents are informed every step of the way.
This just feels to me like, if I had to guess, I'd say that this is voluntary thalidomide. We are mutilating children. We stand against it when it comes to sending young girls out to have their sex organs, their clitorises removed as part of FGM. But for some reason, we think in the West it's fine for to convince a little boy that he's a girl, allow him to go all the way down the path of this. So to grow long hair. I've seen this in my children's schools, and there's no get out for them when this kid would usually just turn out to be gay. Now, I and everybody else with a fair mind would turn around and say we must tolerate, love and respect trans people, but those are trans adults. Transing children is for me mutilation on the hands in the same spectrum as Mengele.
But no one is mutilating trans children. What organizations like Mermaids are trying to do is to listen to trans children, to hear their stories, to understand them, and no one under any circumstances is trying to persuade or convince them to be trans, merely to affirm what the child themselves says. I mean, I would be absolutely opposed to any attempt to try and pressure people to be trans. I don't know of any instance where mermaids or other organizations have done that. But, you know, what I do know is from my own personal experience, the many stories of parents who are so happy that their child has got support from mermaids and is now happy in their trans identity. That removes the distress, the anxiety, the depression, often the self-harm and even attempted suicide that some young trans kids go through. If we can remove that and we can give them a happy, fulfilled life, that I'm sure is something that you would want as well.
I completely agree with you. I suppose where we disagree is over the issue of identity and reality. Anyway, thank you, Peter Tatchell, very much.